junkies out there, I invite you to spend some time with me. I'm Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen Podcast Show. Hey, and the show does start now. It's yours truly, Johnny Allen, of the Johnny Allen Podcast / Videocast Show. Yes, I got a smile on my face because I had 4 days off last week. It was great. I did the getaway. I call it the COVID world problem getaway from everything for a while. And I did that, and I'll share a little bit of my phone footage and a little bit later in the podcast. But first of all, I got a few things to say. First thing is, thanks for stopping by. Really, truly, thanks again, guys, for stopping by my channel. And, you know, we just talk for 30 minutes. I talk about everyday life situations, what's going on in the world, what's going on in your world, what's going on in my little world. And, you know, hey, we just have fun for 30 minutes and we drink some coffee. That's what we do. But something I like to share is I say, welcome to Friday Eve. This is Friday Eve. I do it on Thursdays. I say Friday Eves. I've been saying Friday Eves for a while now. Now, do I do that on every show? No, I don't. But I would say about 95% of the time I say, welcome to Friday Eve. So I call Fridays Friday Eve. So you guys got that right. I've been doing it for, like I said, a year and a half. And I was thinking that I might have been an original on that. I thought I was an original on that. So, and now I got to rethink that because I'm going to share a quick story with you. I've never heard anybody say Friday Eves. Now I'm saying, you know, I'm not saying rather I created it. I don't know. But anyway, going to work the other day, I flip on the radio. I kind of channel surf a little bit. There's like 3 channels I flip back and forth with. And one of them is a local affiliate here in Indiana, 95.9 FM. And I tuned in about 5:30 in the morning, and I checked out these guys, and I don't even remember the name, but it was 2 guys doing a podcast on that show, on that radio station, pretty big radio station. And I just happened to flip it on, and it's Thursday morning, and guess what? He goes, welcome to Friday Eve. And I went, whoa. They're catching and they're doing my thing. You know, they're taking my thing, man. Friday Eve. At first I thought, wow, okay, that's cool. They're catching on. I guess somebody's heard it. It's possible. So anyway, yeah, welcome to Friday Eve. So I don't know if I'm an original or not, but it's catching on. So the guys on 95.9 in the morning show, and I'll have to get that and, you know, share the link or something. Using my thing, Friday Eve. So welcome to Friday Eve. How you guys been out there? Hopefully you've been good through all this wackiness, craziness, COVID-19. You know, is it going away? Is it getting worse? Is it getting better? Should you wear a mask? Should you not wear a mask? I've been over this several times. You know, I work, in case you guys don't know, I work in the healthcare industry. Have for many years. Been going through the COVID-19 thing. Mask, no mask. You know what I'm going to say about it, and then we're going to move on to the talking points. What I'm going to say about the mask. Here it is. All right, the cases, I don't think they really know exactly. The virus always changes, mutates. Viruses do, changing all the time. Who knows if they're not putting new ones out there that are of the COVID-19 variety? We don't know. But anyway, the viruses do change. The characteristics change, and it affects people in different ways. It affects age groups in different ways. We know all that. You got underlying conditions. You're older, you're having more trouble, okay? Younger kids, yes, younger kids can get it, right? They can. But it's rare still. It's very rare. So, back to the mask. Okay, they're going to protect you about 40 to 50%. If both parties are wearing a mask and you're keeping your distance, you're pretty safe. You're real good. Doesn't mean that you don't have any possibility of all catching the virus. No, unless, like I said earlier in an earlier podcast about 4 or 5 of them ago, unless you're wearing a diving suit or a space suit, you're got a chance of getting the virus. Now, how bad is it really? That's debatable. We won't go there. But I'm going to tell you the honest God's truth, guys. I think sometimes it's real because I see it, but they blow it up. I know our cases here, at least in Indiana, have dropped significantly since March and April. In June and July, they have dropped off. We hope it stays that way. I'm not saying not be careful. Be careful, but mask or no mask. I think if you wear the mask for a while, yeah, it's going to protect this. It's going to keep it down until they figure out a vaccine or the thing just runs its course, like the Spanish flu did 100 years ago. I think it took 2 years. It's just going to have to run a course and then go. And, but I don't think we should be petrified of it. I don't think we should hide and barricade ourselves and be afraid to go to a restaurant or something. Just don't get out there and get sloppy and start spitting on people. The whole thing before the COVID virus came out anyway, pandemic, is I always wanted my distance, my space, my safe zone, right? There's been movies and stuff about it, they're kind of, keeping that personal space. I don't like dudes that, people that come up on you and keep with the, hey, how you doing? Hey, can you see me? Hey, whoa. I know that's getting scary, right? I'll back off the camera. But you get it. I don't want people right here. I never did. So I'm, just back them off. I like backing off a little bit. All right, this is cool. I got some good news about the podcast and other people doing projects and stuff like that. First of all, I want to address Box Kickers Talking Sports in Austin, Texas. Chris and Daniel's new podcast down there in Austin. And they're doing a really good job. I got the link on my page. It'll also be on the Facebook and both pages. And my YouTube. I'm going to share the link. You guys go check them out. Box Kickers Talking Sports. It's cool. Chris and Daniel, they do a really good job. They talk about what they're doing in their personal life. And then they dive into the sports subject. So if you like sports, and you like to hear two guys ramble on, kind of like me, go check them out. And they are based in Austin, Texas. Thanks again, Chris and Daniel. They also used one of my original music, actually one of my musical tunes, I don't even know what you want to call it a song. I did a musical piece. I've written a lot of musical pieces and actually have built a catalog. And the guys were nice enough to ask me if I would supply some music for their bumper. And I sent him out a thing. It's a heavy metal song called The Slam. Anyway, they used it, and it's great, and that's cool. And, I wish those guys luck down there. They also plugged my little show here, which is great. Thanks, guys, again, if you're watching. Chris and Daniel, I really do appreciate it. Box Kickers Talking Sports. And Box Kickers is kind of funny because I used to work with Chris years ago. Good guy. Just a neat dude. Witty. Chris, I don't know Daniel as well. I've never met Daniel. Seems like a nice guy, but I do know Chris. To describe Chris a little bit, very smart dude. He's smart, he's quick, and the podcast will show that. So congratulations, guys, and thanks again for using the Slam for the bumper. That's fantastic. Anyway, the links are below, and I say links because I got another one. All right, I'll get my advertising out of the way. All right, here we go. DieselCoffee.com, www.shopdieselcoffee.com. I'll put Tim's link. Tim, another guy I know, very nice guy. Makes the best coffee, I think, on the planet. Now, I might be a little biased, but really, Tim's coffee is fantastic. Go get Diesel Coffee, www.shopdieselcoffee.com. Everybody that I have sent this coffee to loves it, and that's no BS. They like it. And today, that's what we do. We drink coffee here, and I am drinking the iced coffee, which is Diesel, which is actually the Diva Blend. I'm getting ready to try some new stuff, but yeah, Tim's coffee down up there, rather. Tim's in Michigan. Chris is in Austin. So, we are, what am I doing? What am I saying here? We are representing the North and the South. There you go. We're representing the North and the South. Anyway, go get you some DieselCoffee.com. I'll tell you what, here's what you want to do, right? You listen to Chris and Daniel's podcast, Box Kickers Talking Sports, while you load up on your DieselCoffee.com, and then you get done with them, come over and visit me and get another glass of DieselCoffee.com, and then after that, I don't care what you do. I'm just kidding. I hope you guys are having a good time, good life. Staying positive during all of this, I'm almost going to say it, bullshit, really. And I'm going to share some stuff on what people are doing. One last plug. I got to do this. Again, I talked about the Slack Brothers. Okay. I actually don't have the Slam on here, but I got some good songs on here. This is my brother and I's album. If you guys want to copy this CD, hit me up. Just send me a message. We'll figure it out how to get you. I can get it to you. I'll get you one of these, right? If you guys like heavy rock, blues, and rock and roll, and just good stuff, there you go. The Slack Brothers CD. Okay, we're going to go on further with the talking points. I highlighted my friends there and had to promote their products. And I mean, in all seriousness, guys, we are scratching each other's backs on this stuff, but they're all startups, and but it's good products. They're good products. Chris and Daniel do have a nice podcast. It's very nice. It's a good one. Tim's coffee is excellent. So I'm not just BSing you when I say go after it, go get it. All right, links going to be below on both of them. All right, talking points today. During these times of the rioting, the unrest in the country and the world, really, and of course the pandemic. And I'm going to have another sip of coffee before we go here and get into this, because this is good talking points. Okay, like I'm saying, with all this stuff going on right now in the world, really, in the United States, all this unrest, and on a serious note, what's going on? You guys know. If you follow the news a little bit, now I try not to so much, but can't help it. Is it affecting relationships? Comment below. Is it affecting relationships? A lot of people are stuck at home. They're not working. Maybe a wife and a husband are stuck at home, or you're stuck with some family members, or you're stuck with some good friends. Working relationships, whatever type of relationships. We're just talking relationships in general. Is it affecting? What's going on in the world? Do you think it's affecting your relationships negatively? Comment below and let me know. Or is it affecting your relationships in a positive fashion? I'd be interested to know. With me personally, I'll share a little bit. It's been kind of a battle up and down, because I do work in the healthcare industry. I see a lot of stuff, a lot of changes going on. I'm working with a lot of people under a lot of stresses. And I'm fortunate that I'm still working. But the flip side of it, you pay a price with the stress that's going on in there. So I've had to battle up and down the emotional swings, right? And so for the most part, I've been just going out, doing, riding the bike, getting outside. I've shared some of this stuff with you guys. I like to do, cooking out, smoking ribs and whatnot on the pit, things of that nature, going for nature walks. Speaking of nature walks, which later on in the podcast, I will share what I did last Friday. I went to a place, and I'll share that with you guys. An example of what I do when we are under this situation we're under now. But is it affecting your relationships? Are you a little more angry or upset, sad? Do you snap a little bit quicker? Are you getting sarcastic? Are you getting just weird acting in general? Let me know below. I'd really be interested to know that. How are you handling the current situation that's going on with the world? And some of our younger people, because I'm older, there's no joke that I'm older. But should we reach out to our youth in a positive fashion? Because a lot of our youth is basically off the rails, right? I mean, I hate to say that, but they are. They're off the rails. With this statue destroying, the history is confused. They feel like they're fighting for a certain cause, but it's not. What's it all gaining? What's the purpose besides destruction? Destruction solves nothing, really. So should we reach out to our youth and should we just be mad at them and just basically do this? Or should we reach out to them and try to say, hey, listen, let's get together and talk. I want to educate you on some things. Because I don't think a lot of the youth are educated on what's going on. And I think there's a lot of false information. Well, I know there's a lot of false information going on. And I'll bring up some examples of that further on in the show. And there's some, sources trying to choke off the real information, right? They want to purposely brainwash the youth. And, I mean, if you don't believe it, look what's going on. And my wife and I discussed this without getting a lot of detail. There's a lot of things that are going on today that the youth are doing that is not okay. And they're led to believe that it is okay. And when I say youth, I'm talking like teenagers, kids, early 20s, millennials, or younger than millennials. Because my daughter is a millennial, I believe. Anyway, she's pretty young. But she even doesn't agree with a lot of what's going on with the younger kids. And I think a lot of people are misinformed. There's a lot of broken families in the country. A lot of broken families in the world. And that's causing problems. You know, I mean, I'm not a political show, but I talk about everyday life situations, and this is everyday life situations, people. You know, the family unit is broken down. Now, are we, as a people, trying to really address that issue, or are we just trying to put our heads in the sand and ignoring it and just get mad and gripe about it, but not really doing anything about it? I feel like we need to step up to the plate and do something about the broken families, the crime in the inner cities, and all this stuff. You know, right now the police are getting a big knockdown. And I'm not going to go there because, like I said, I'm not getting too political. But, you know, the groups are concentrating on the police right now, the brutality, you know, and all that. And they're concentrating on trying to destroy history. And I think virtually they don't even know the history. They're just like anything they see that's a statue, let's just tear it up. We don't know what it is, but hey, feels good just to tear something up. That is the attitude that needs to be changed. We need to figure out why young people just want to tear stuff up. And we need to get them on track of what it used to be. Like, you know, back in time, like, you know, during this time frame when phones look like this. Yes, younger people. This is a phone. This is what this is, but that's what it was, right? And I think this has got us in trouble because, like I talked about earlier on the earlier shows, you know, the media, the quick access to social media, instant communication. Is it good or bad? I feel like sometimes it's bad. And we're staying on one subject and we keep beating the dead horse all the time. The violence, the dead horse is the violence, the destruction, the anarchy, the don't care, the piss on this group and the piss on that group. We're not coming together and compromising and fixing the sole problem, which I believe is family unit first. There is none, especially in the inner cities. There hasn't been. If a kid is raised in a poor mom or a poor single parent, it's nothing against single parents, try to do the best they can. But nowadays you have kids raising kids. It's just like we've lost a lot of the standards and the good standards and the wholesome standards on how to raise children. So they're totally lost. They don't know where to go. And they're getting their information from not such good sources. And they're growing up with not such good sources. That's all I got to say about that. Comment below if you guys agree with me or disagree with me or any thoughts on that whatsoever. Dysfunctional families, broken families is the root of it. Is the root of, I feel, all this problem that's going on in the world and in the United States right now. And we need to fix it. People like me and you. I don't have all the total answers, but we need to put our brains together and figure out how we're going to do this. Maybe on social media, we can flood the social media with good things from the 70s. Let kids discover what life used to be, the good parts of life, what good parts of life used to be. Not the bad. And you don't want to totally erase history because, like I saw an interview with the guy on Fox today. And younger black gentleman, for whatever that means or whatever that's worth, but just an example, that's who he was. He said, yeah, he was talking about the statue thing. He said, yeah, don't destroy the old statues, just add new ones with the old ones because the history, whether it be good, bad, or ugly, or indifferent, you got to keep it so we don't go back to the bad stuff. We learn from the bad stuff. Because really what's going on now, they're making history like, oh, remember in 2020 we had a pandemic, and on top of that we had a bad cop doing bad things, and then all these people got irate and causing riots and tearing up, you know, innocent people's buildings and businesses, and nothing could get started again, and blah, 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 blah. And the bottom line is it's all bad press. It's all bad storyline. So let's change the storyline. Wouldn't it be nice if they said, you know what, yeah, you know, let's all get together. We're rebuilding these things that everybody got mad about. We've eased our tensions down. We put down our guns. We stopped stereotyping groups. We respect groups and just go out there and have a wholesome life. really passionate about that, but that's true. And our kids are learning a lot of stuff that's not good. Okay, you make your own decision on that, but come to your own conclusion rather on what you feel is not good, what is good. But really, you guys know deep and down inside what is good and what is not, and we need to teach the youth that. That's all I gotta say. Stressing on that a lot. Okay, and I'm talking about the media outlets. Now, this is true. Okay, and I'm not a conservative talk show. I lean a little bit that way, but I got an open mind about things. I'm just talking about everyday life situations. And this is what I noticed. I used to think that they were kind of exaggerating it, but they're not. And here's an example. Media outlets, as far and like YouTube here and even Facebook or whatever, Twitter, whatever. And I've seen it happen personally on YouTube 3 or 4 times. I've seen them doing it. They are pulling down any kind of show, especially political, and it's pretty much political, but they're tearing down any show that has anything, they're talking anything like conservative or talking about, hey, the government's not doing us any favors. People may call it conspiracy or whatever, but some of these shows that aren't conspiracy, they're just good shows. They have just took them down, eliminated, said, nope, you're not going to do that. So some people's messages are getting out and some people's messages are not. And if you want freedom of speech, everybody has the right to be able to express themselves without trying to, obviously drum up violence and anarchy, right? That's not cool. Shut that down. But if you're just talking about regular issues going on and you're more on the conservative side, they're shutting conservative channels down, guys. I mean, they are. So is that right or wrong? Comment below. I feel like it's wrong. Freedom of speech, if someone's demonstrating something really bad, right? Nazis or whatever. I mean, use common sense. We know what that is. Yeah, by all means, shut down the hate. Shut down the hate channels. But if someone's just discussing a subject about how, we can make policemen better trained and all this, they shut it down. That's crazy. And comment below on any of that. All right, I'm going to go here for a second. I'm going to share my trip from last Friday. Hope you guys enjoy it. And this is a segment that I call Getaways, and I'll talk a little bit about that in closing on the podcast today. But here's the video. I hope you enjoy it. Check it out. It's a short one this time, guys. Here it is.
Look at this one. Frankie, look at the size of this one. Look at this one.
Spring Mill State Park, Mitchell, Indiana, guys. Doing the Johnny Allen getaway. And then there's what I've been coming down here to see right there. The Grand Marshal. There it is. Beauty. Beautiful.
They're the best things to look at. They're always turning more shit on.
Frankie, this is a city, bro. This is like where it is.
It's not electric.
No, it's so electric.
Yeah, that's an added feature. Beautiful place. My favorite state park in Indiana. Right here. Spring Mill. It's awesome. There's from the inside of the mill. Right in some cornmeal.
It's all the way down the cogs and cells of wood, but we got white buildings.
Okay, this is where the water comes from, gang, to feed the mill. Comes out of this little dam. The water comes out of Hamer Cave. And that's the pipe that goes all the way down to the mill, way down there where we were. So we'll go up and see the cave now. There's the dam that they built to hold the water back to feed into the pipe that runs down and carries the water all the way down to the mill. Alright, this is Hamer Cave. They named it after Hugh Hamer, which was the guy who originally plotted this land and built the mill. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is the cave opening right there. That's it. We're going to take a lunch and then continue our little Southern Indiana tour. I hope you enjoyed that. We had a nice time. That's one of my favorite state parks in Indiana. It's just peaceful. It's cool to watch a working, Geist mill. It's been there since 1816, I think. Very nice place. You ever get a chance, go to Little Mitchell, Indiana, and check out Spring Mill State Park. That's an example of simpler things in life. I spent last weekend back out in the country again. And the wife and I went there, and it was great. And I'm gonna have another swig of Diesel iced coffee. Hey Tim, if you're watching, coffee's great, brother. I'm gonna order some more here soon. Hope you're doing well down up there in Lansing. Almost said down there in Lansing. Up there in Lansing. I know it's been weird, like I said, wacky guys. It's been a really strange year. But I hope that you're making the best out of 2020 so far, especially this summer. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to do a couple closing notes. I talked about what I just did. I'm noticing on Facebook and on social media, the good parts of it, that people are just saying, you know what? I'm stuck at home. I might have a little extra money, saved back. I feel good renting a vehicle or a car or jumping in my own car and just taking off and going for a trip. Just going somewhere, grabbing a tent, going to a state forest, state park. I'm just going to camp overnight. I might go to another one. They're just traveling. They're soul searching. They're chilling. They're getting in tune with nature. They're mellowing out. They're getting away from all the media. They're getting away from this. And I think it's great, and I've been preaching that for a while now. Even if it's a local park or something, go get out in the woods. The bugs aren't going to bother you too bad. Get out and enjoy some peace and quiet. That's what we need during these times. So let's talk to our youth. Let's try to get our youth back on track. Because they're terribly off track. They've been off track for a while. It's not their fault. It's our fault as the elders. We have ignored our youth. We've either been so busy doing our own thing and just ignore them, tell them to go away, blah, 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 go watch some video games. Video and TV is like a babysitter now, and they don't have good shows on these days, man. It's all a bunch of junk. It's junk. We need to change that habit. That's all I got to say about that. We got to change the habit. So lastly, I'm going to end. Ran over a little bit today, but the last note is my band, the Crossroads Saints, is getting back in the studio tomorrow. Yes, at Round Table Recording Company in Broad Ripple, Indiana. That's another one I'm going to plug. Round Table Recording Company. State-of-the-art recording studio, about as good as I've been to some good ones in Nashville, Tennessee, the music capital of the world. I've recorded down there, as well as Daryl and my brother. And Round Table, I'm looking forward to it. It's up there with them, if not better. The man that designed the studio actually did Ozzy Osbourne's studio just recently in the last couple of years. So looking forward to getting in the studio with Corey and Crossroads. Going to record. We're going to start tracking Cradle to the Grave as a rockin' blues tune. Can't wait to. I'm going to use that as a bumper once we get it done. So you guys take care of yourselves out there. And like I say every week, thanks again for liking and subscribing to the channel. Kudos to Chris and Daniel down there with Box Kickers Talking Sports. Get your diesel coffee. Roundtable recording in Broad Ripple, Indiana. There you go. Lord willing, I'll see y'all next week on the Johnny Allen Podcast /Videocast Show.